Hey, this is Buddy Danger here, and I'm back again with the next video. Now today we're going to be talking about one thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of you must have heard. If you're actually a Wii U and Nintendo 3DS fan, there's probably a software you might remember. Nintendo eShop, one of the most best new ways to enjoy some of the games that's available for both Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. One of the best things you can enjoy is some of the most best ways to have a Nintendo games to be downloaded from Nintendo eShop. Or, of course it is. If some of you must have already heard, the Nintendo eShop is going to be closing their service down by next year. And it's also going to be causing it so far the original. So when I heard about this, I decided I have to do this quick. So I actually got to work, and I actually decided to look for the Wii U download-only games. And that's exactly what I'll be talking about. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the top 10 Nintendo eShop Wii U download-only games that needs to be CD-ROMs. But before we begin, 3 things. I already did a video about the WiiWare games, which I'll put a link, which I will put on the top right so you can look for yourself. Also, the other downloaded games such as Mario Kart 8, Splatoon, Just Dance 2013 Unlimited, and the Wii Sports Club will not be on this list since I'm only looking for Wii U download games. Lastly, the Virtual Console games will not be on this list since those are not Wii U download games. Instead, they're all Virtual Consoles. So, without further ado, turn on your Wii U, go to Nintendo eShop, take a seat, relax, get comfortable, and let's start the countdown. Now before we begin, first off, I did manage to go back to Nintendo eShop on my Wii U console, and I looked for any Wii U download games, and get this, there are over 562 Wii U download games. Half of them are Wii retail, so it's still going to be the most part of it though. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Wii U downloads only. So I'm not going to talk about Nintendo 3DS games on the Wii Shop channel, on the Nintendo eShop channel, because I was playing the Wii U for the rest of my life. So that's also going to be part of it. So without further ado, let's get started. On just one last thing, some of them are already Nintendo eShop. Some of the Nintendo eShop games are already CD-ROMs, but you see I'm not kidding this up. I looked it up, and it turns out some of them are already Wii U download games. So yeah, Octodad was already a CD-ROM, so I guess that's also part of it. But in any case, let's get on with the top 10 Wii U download-only games that needs to be CD-ROMs. At number 10, we have is Fast Racing Neo. Fast Racing Neo is a jet racing game where you race your jet to the finish line, and you actually use either orange or blue colors instead of black and white. This is the same as Fast Racing League, but with different new abilities. And of course, the boosts are now orange and blue. And this game is also made by Schwinden Multimedia, and they also produce a jet racing game too. The game is actually on a Wii U disc, by the way. So yeah, the first one is Fast Racing Neo. At number 9, we have is Octodad's Deadliest Catch. I have never heard of this game, but I think I was playing it. This game is kind of like a reverse version of Squidward, but it's actually a different new coat. And instead of that, he has a different family. And I can find the controls is a little bit tough to use, even though since I've never heard of this game. But honestly, this game is also on Name Disc. And I already explained to this when I started this list video. So, yeah. At number 8, we have is Runbow. Runbow is a running color game where you run all the way to the finish line without mix matching all the colors. The game is also on a game disc too. And the levels are also really tricky, and it's also a tough one. This game is about running to the finish line without getting matched by all the colors. And this is also the first one that also was released on a Wii U game. And the game is also on the game disc. So this game is also a colored matching game. A colored running game, I mean. At number 7 we have is Retro Road Rumble. Retro Road Rumble is a racing game where you race your car to the finish line without hitting any of the buildings or the cars. If you're hit by those things, you'll go back to start and you'll try again. And you must hit as many checkpoints before you run out of time, and the player with the most checkpoints wins. And yeah, this is also a car racing game where you race all the way to the checkpoints. Is that game great? At number 6 we have is Scribble. Scribble is kind of like Pictionary, but it's obviously another art game where you draw your favorite games as well. And they also have team games too, such as team players, elimination, drawing guessings, all of it. And Scribble is obviously a game where you draw as many pictures and let the players guess what you're drawing. So yeah, it's actually another drawing game called Scribble. At number 5 we have is Scoop. Scoop is a news trivia where you answer trivia questions about the news and other broadcasting systems. It's obviously a news trivia where they give you news questions about the different part of it. So it's kind of like a news game trivia where you obviously answer trivia questions about news. It's kind of like some of the news stations like you've seen for real, but it's in a reverse kind. So I can actually go ahead and say that Scoop definitely needs to be a CD-ROM. At number 4 we have is Pick-a-Pix Color. Pick-a-Pix Color is a color game where you match the pixels to the numbers to match a picture. And honestly, to form a picture, I mean. And it's actually a perfect way where you get to experience and make a picture to base on the colors. And this is obviously a colored game or a pixel color game where you match the pictures directly to the color. And it's obviously more possible. This game has over 100 levels and 100 new backgrounds to make a picture. And honestly, I could say that Pick-a-Pix Color also needs to be a CD-ROM. At number 3 we have is El Saka Arcade Edition. El Saka Arcade Edition is a game where you time your room sprite to hit people in the back of the head with chairs? I mean, I'm not sure about that, but I find this game to be more distracting. I'm not sure if this game should be a game disc, but I think it probably is. But I'll say that El Saka is a game that involves hitting people on the back of the heads with chairs. At number 2 we have is Freedom Planet. Freedom Planet is a game where you actually have to free a planet that is being attacked. And this is actually based on 2 characters you can use to control. This is actually another game that was released for only the Wii U, and this is actually another best game that actually came out, and it's actually a planet rescue game. This game is actually much better and the best one of all. This game is kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, but with a different new code displayed. So I'll probably say that Freedom Planet definitely needs to be a CD-ROM. Now, before I go to number 1, let's go over some of the honorable mentions of other games I didn't talk about on my video. And finally, on number 1, the last Wii U game we have for you is Captain U. And yep, this is the last game I'm talking about. Captain U is actually kind of like the same as Super Mario, but I think it's actually more different for each one. As a matter of fact, this is actually a game where you shoot the enemies to get out of their way, and obviously reach all the way to the end to reach to your finish line. And honestly, Captain U is actually the last game that came out. I actually have never played this game until I downloaded it, and I think it's also another game that was released. So I'll probably say that Captain U also needs to be a CD-ROM, and that is it. And this has been the top 10 Nintendo eShop Wii U download games that needs to be CD-ROMs. What do you guys think in the comments? Which one of these Wii U games do you think they need to be CD-ROMs? If so, feel free to comment below what do you think. If there's any other Wii U games that I also missed, and do you think they also need to be in this list, feel free to tell me in the comments. That'll do it for today. If you guys like this video, feel free to subscribe so you won't miss a video. Ring the notification bell so you won't miss an upload from me, and comment below which one of them you might like the best. After all that, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is By Danger, and I'll see you next time.